Hi, folks. Tim Conti here from Cloud Trusted Advisor based in Chicago. Today's video is how to easily find the best phone system, phone vendor for your organization for customers that are based here in the Chicagoland area. You can see here behind me, I'm a Chicago guy. I've been working in technology for 27 years, and about 20 of those years in technology in Chicago. When you're looking for a new phone solution, you might be looking for a full unified communications or a cloud-based solution. It's going to be the purpose of today's presentation. But if you're also just looking for a traditional phone system, those are a bit easier. Feel free to reach out to me and I'll connect you with someone from my team. But for all intents and purposes, today's video is going to be about the cloud-based phone systems that are available today. And what we have for you today that you see on your screen is a really quick and easy way for us to shortlist the number of providers. It's mind-boggling the number of vendors that are in the space for a new cloud-based phone system. It's getting confusing for end customers to kind of navigate this. And us, working in this industry for many, many years, we know where the bodies are buried. With this model, you won't have to talk to a sales rep who's biased that only cares about closing the deal and moving on to the next one. We're going to use our tool to help kind of guarantee what vendors we show you are a fit for you based on your requirements. But another thing I want to make mention of the market in general is when I first started consulting around these services in 2005. I worked for a technology startup in the West Loop, and the pricing was around $50 per user per month for a full unified communication solution. I'll tell you that it's come down 60, 70% off those rates for really one specific reason. There's more competition in the market today than there was back then. So competition means lower prices for you, the end user. It also means better service as well. But all these providers aren't created equal. One of the values that we provide you is because we work in this ecosystem and we do so many engagements per year, and hundreds, we know which of these vendors is really doing a good job for their customer and which ones aren't, right? Because you're going to find that a lot of these providers look and sound the same. You're going to find that it's predominantly feature parity. No one's really separated themselves from the pack, but there are one or two differences between each of these providers, and our job is to help you identify those one or two and see if they're important to your organization. So here we go. Running into this demo, when you schedule a 30-minute call with me, we can talk about anything you want, but one of the first things I do is if you are considering a new system, we use our opportunity criteria here on the left-hand side to help narrow down the vendors. This is where we input your data, and this is how we make our research customized. So instead of just downloading the Gartner Magic Quadrant or reading a white paper on phone systems, this is a much better way because it takes into account your requirements, which is what we're really after. So first and foremost, we want to match up the provider's data centers and where they're located to the proximity of your end users. So just kind of make up an engagement here, a requirement. Let's say you've got users in North America and then you've got users in Europe. If you want to have investment protection, let's say you've got some phones that you potentially want to reuse, because the handsets are the only physical piece of equipment in the solution that you'll require. You don't even need that. You can use the soft phone on your computer or on your iPhone to avoid having to do a physical phone. But some customers still like the benefit of a physical handset. So let's say you have some Polycoms out there you want to reuse. Connecting your CRM is absolutely critical. You want to combine your customer data with your unified communications phone solution. That's going to make you much more your end users much more productive to being able to do things like when users call in, we can do a screen pop so they identify themselves ahead of time, give them a better kind of touch and feel. You can log calls directly into the CRM so you can look at productivity and whatnot, especially with you might have a bunch of remote users in your environment today, either via COVID or just because they're spread across the US, and being able to have that data to be able to see who's on the phone and not on the phone and whatnot. We'll choose one of the more common ones. We'll choose Salesforce. Then from there, productivity app integration, you may already have an investment in something like Microsoft Teams, and that's okay. But we'll want to choose a provider that can provide a seamless integration to Teams. So let's say you are a Teams shop, or you could be a Google shop. We'll say Teams, and we'll check that. And then compliance. If you have to adhere because of your industry into a compliance requirement, we'll want to choose a provider that'll make you compliant or allow you to be compliant based on the services and the features that they provide on the system. So we'll just choose PCI, which is a big one in retail. And then we're kind of done here. And what we do is we generate the matrix. And what have we essentially done here? We've taken your requirements on the left-hand side, you know, users in North America and Europe, reuse Polycom phones, integrate with Salesforce, integrate with Microsoft Teams and PCI compliant. And we immediately shortlisted the vendors for you. Now, what we do from here, and I'll show you the research side of this, which is pretty cool in a second. But what we do is just based on our knowledge of the market, having worked in it directly, even though some of these guys might look good on paper, we'll eliminate a few of these guys to get you to a manageable few. And the good news is this is the provider's ability to meet your requirement. So, Call Tower did very well. So did Dialpad and Ring Central and Vonage. They're basically batting 1,000. And what we then do is in a very ethical manner, we, I'll say pit these providers against each other to get you the best value in the market. We have a framework that we use from evaluation all the way to adoption and everything in between. And we'll be with you before, during, and after the engagement. You'll see a bunch of testimonials on the Cloud Trusted Advisor website of customers that we've helped. But, this is just the research phase. This is designed to save you time in the beginning, not having to go down a rabbit hole with Google. And you start to talk to these vendors, you start to confuse the different vendors. They've got you on speed dial. They're emailing you. They're texting you. They're all going to tell you how great they are. Some of them are pretty great, but some aren't. But before you even do that, and maybe you've done some research already on your own, and maybe you're catching me a little bit later in the process, this will be a good validation tool. Set up a 30-minute call with me. And on that call, we'll run through and let's see what our tool produces. And maybe it's someone you're talking to, and then we can help you kind of negotiate the contract and the terms and conditions. I will tell you, in this market, this technology is designed to be very easy to procure and buy. For the most part, it's relatively simple to implement it, but there are a few key things that you need to know or should know up front. Things that we want to make sure you don't miss, like integrating with overhead paging systems, call quality, things like that we can help with. So that's what I've got for you today. Hopefully this video was useful for you, help you narrow down your search for providers. Book a 30-minute call. I'll put your inputs in here. And I forgot to mention, with this report, there's 27 research evaluation criteria that we rank these folks on a comparison chart. So should your boss or you require the research behind it, you will provide this report to you. We just download it into a PDF here, and we'll send it to you right on the call, and you can make this your own. We don't care. We want you to make an informed decision and take advantage of some of the tools that are available to you to make the right decision. That's ultimately what we're after. We're helping you avoid making the wrong decision for a vendor where you're going to be stuck for many years. These contracts are normally 2 or 3 year agreements. So even though some of these providers look good on paper, you might get into it and realize you might have made a very costly mistake, and we'll help you avoid that. So again, book your 30-minute call. We'll run through your opportunity criteria. We'll put it into our tool. We'll produce the report. We'll send it to you. And then from there, we'll talk about next steps. You don't have to hire us for anything. Again, we show value in our things that we offer you to save you time, save you money, and eliminate risk, but that you're under zero obligation to do any business with us whatsoever. So this is just a value add for you. So let us know how we can help, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.